Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Eva from Crafting with Angels, and today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous gift bag for somebody's birthday. So let's start crafting. I am using Stampin' today only because it's convenient for other part of the project as well, as you will see later on. I'm going to start with the sentiment that I'm going to just stamp on a piece of white stock. I'm using new cling stamp set called Hey Love. Cling stamps are new stamps that Stampin' Up is bringing, and they really stick to your blocks. So when you're crafting, be careful when you're peeling them off, because you could damage actually the stamps if you do it too roughly. So I'm just going to put a paper on my Stamparatus, and I want to make sure that the sentiment fits on my oval. So I'm going to put it down and arrange it on it. I am using the largest oval from Stitch Shapes Framelits, and I'm going to put the skunk in there. Look how cute he is. And sentiment. Okay, and I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just going to use Memento ink to ink it. I can take this away. Okay, inking. Okay, so that's our sentiment. The beautiful thing about Stamparatus is that if you would think that you need another layer of ink, you just ink again and stamp again, and it goes to exactly the same spot, which is great. So now we're going to cut this. Let me take this away. And we're going to cut it with a big shot. Run it through. Okay. We're going to color the skunk. I'm using combination of blends and one marker. I'm using Melon Mambo marker only because I don't have a lovely lipstick shade blend. Otherwise I would use that to match it perfectly with the paper of the box, but it doesn't really matter that much, to be honest. So I'm going to make the nose is going to be pink and all the hearts, and then I'm going to use blends. It's a smoky slate blend, and I'm going to use the light shade for his body. Don't forget that little feet in here. Arms. I hope my coloring is going to be pretty at the end. It's a bit of pressure to do it on a camera, to be honest. Okay, so now I'm coloring his face, little ear here, and now the tail and his back. I'm going to do it the same shade but darker. And if you would like that back to be even more darker, just keep bringing more color from your blend. Okay, I really do like blends, but the only thing that I always have to remember is that when I'm using them, you have to use layers on your card because they bleed through. So if you would use this on a main cardstock as on a card base, it would seep through and it would be visible on the card. So I'm just going to put quickly dimensionals on, so then we have it ready when we need it. And one in the middle for good measure. So this is our sentiment that we now can put aside. Now we're going to make the actual box. I'm using lovely lipstick foil sheet, which is really gorgeous, and it comes, you can get it free from Sale-a-bration catalog with qualifying purchase, and it comes 4 sheets 12 by 12 of the lipstick with grapefruit growth. It's very, very gorgeous paper, as you might see if you will get it. So for the box I am using, for the bag I am using this gift bagged punch board, and I'm going to make the box medium size, and the box actually tells you here that for medium size you need the paper to be 11 inches wide, which is this side. Sorry, I guess you didn't see it, this side. And how tall the bag is, it's up to you. I decided to have it about 7 inches. And let me show you how easy it is to make the bag. So first I'm going to create this this line. You can do it together with all other scoring. I prefer to make it first on its own, and because sometimes I would forget to score this line. So I created this score line, and now I'm just going to score some more and punch. Going to start on a start line. I'm going to align the paper with the start line, and I am going to punch, and then I'm going to score at M for medium. And I'm going to move it, score line, to the start line. If you don't see the start line, you can actually see it here, that there is a little indicator where there is. And we are going to do second side. That's scoring here, and little fold in here. And this is basically creating the crease for your sides. Oh, and I didn't punch. See? Punch. So then move again your line to the start line, punch. Now we're making the side, the front or back, so that's a medium score. Move it to the start line again, punch, do side 2, move it and punch. Now we are going to make little holes to the, so this is how it looks like. Now we're going to make the little holes to the top so we can close the box. Oh, actually, you know what? I just noticed that in here I didn't really do a good job scoring this. So let me just take care of it very quickly. Okay. So it has, in here, it has a reverse punch, and it creates the holes for your fastening. And you just line it up and punch. Okay. And that's our bag scored. So now, since I'm just holding it here, I'm going to cut this little piece that we don't need, and I'm going to make a little notch on the top here. And now we are going to emboss it to make it pretty. So for that, I will need the Stamparatus again. And you will see actually quite cool trick with it. So I need to, for the background, I'm using a lot of sentiments about birthdays, and as you can see, and for that I'm using Itty Bitty Birthdays stamp set, and I'm just going to use loads of stamps from here. So let me just put the paper on. So I want the sentiments to go on this side and this side only. I'm going to line this up in here and put a magnet on to hold it in place while I'm going to put the stamps on. So I want one here, and you just put them wherever you'd like. I'm going to do it same what I did on the other box, so I don't have to think about it too much, and I'm just copying it. Now let's celebrate. Let's celebrate you. Happy day. Goes this way. They say it's your birthday. It's a set full of beautiful birthday sentiments. Really like it. And they are all in a different font. Time to celebrate. Happy birthday. And I think that I will actually have to move it a little bit. I'm running out of space. So exciting. Awesome at any age. Goes here. And cheers to you. Okay. So I think I'm happy with this. Maybe there is a little bit of space, but it doesn't really matter because the sentiment will go over it. Okay, so I'm going to pick all these stamps with my Stamparatus. And now I don't want the words to be stamped on the side, so I am going to mask it off with a piece of paper. But before I do that, I have to use embossing buddy, and with this foil sheet, make sure that you cover it really well with the embossing powder, so you have nothing, so it wouldn't cling, the embossing powder wouldn't stay on where it shouldn't, because I tried it before and I didn't really do a very good job, and it was really messy. I didn't like it how it looked. Okay, so this should do. So I'm going to cover, all these magnets are very strong to take off. So I'm going to mask it here. I don't actually remember which one would be over. Yeah, some of them on this side. And it doesn't really matter if this flip actually would get stamped on, but I'm going to mask it anyway. And one paper in here. Okay, now I'm going to put Versamark on the stamps. Make sure that you cover the stamps really well. More is better than less, because that's where your embossing powder will stick. Okay, that should do. And stamp. Put pressure on a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to stamp the other side, well, not the other side, the other panel. And for that, I'll show you a little trick, what we can do. So I want the stamps to go in here, but as you can see, if I would just move it, it wouldn't work because it would crush, it would make a crease on this side here. So I'm going to move the stamp apparatus, and I'm going to remove this panel from here, and I'm going to put it up here. And now I'm going to adjust the paper, align the paper, line this score line with the second line within here. Actually, let's see if that's where it is. Yes. No, it's not. Sorry. Oh, I'm putting it wrong way. Okay, so now you can see that it's perfectly centered with the sentiments as it was before. So just make you put it straight on. And again, loads and loads of embossing body action. Make sure that you cover it well. The beauty of Versamark is that you don't really have to be super quick, because I would be in trouble if that ink would be drying fast. So even though I'm spending time to work on this part, the embossing powder will stick nicely to the first panel. So I'm going to cover it again. This magnet will hold it. And now I have to put excuse me, paper on this side as well. I'm going to use my second magnet here. These magnets are very strong, so be careful when you're working with stamp apparatus not to bring them too close together, because they will stuck together, and it's been reported they can actually break when you try to take them off, try to pull them apart, take them apart. Oh, now I have to be careful not to smudge this. I need a smaller piece of paper just for this corner here. Okay, Versamark on the stamps again. Again, make sure that you're putting loads of Versamark on, and stamp. Okay. So now let's emboss it. Okay. So now we're going to put embossing powder on it. And and heat emboss it. I'm going to fast forward the video when I will be embossing, because it makes a noise and it's takes some time as well. But let me just show you. So you cover the panel with embossing powder, and this one as well. Okay. I always flick it off. And let's check. Okay. So I'm very happy. Maybe it needs a little bit more of powder in here and here. Looks like actually I smudged it. Okay, flick off again. Okay, so I'm touched it funny in here, and you can see that it's stuck a little bit, but I will not try to remedy it in any way. I will just leave it on, and it's actually on the bottom, so that should be fine. There's a little powder in here, but again, that's on the side, so that's okay. Okay, so I am ready to emboss. So as I said, I'm going to, I made a mess. So let me just heat emboss and I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so that's embossing done. I'm very happy about that. So now you can, with the kitchen towel, you can wipe the excess chalk from embossing body. But you can see that it worked quite well actually. Okay, so now we're going to put the bag together. So I'm just going to fold the score lines. I'm not using bone folder, only because I don't want to tear the paper. And you don't really have to score these lines. They will fall once you fold the box. They will it will be natural for them to fold. We'll force them once we put the box together. So let's bring the sentiment back. So the sentiment goes on this panel in here. It can go in here, but then obviously when you close it, it will have this line on this side. So I think that it would be better and more pleasing if the sentiment is actually here, and we can put it on now and be done. So I'm just removing the backing from the dimensionals. One from the middle, and I'm just going to place it here above the big happy birthday. So now we're going to put adhesive on this strip and close it off, and I'm also going to put adhesive on the flaps, and let's just see where we're going to put them. So this is our front, so I want to close these in, then this, and the front will go the last. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on this flap here, on the back, here and here, because it doesn't close properly these middle flaps. So when you if you would put the glue inside, if you would put the glue in here completely, there would be a little sticky bit inside the box, and we don't want that. So let's do that. I'm just using tear and tape, and I'm going to put stripe here. Actually, I think I can put 2 on them, 2 on here, just to make sure it sticks properly. And so this is the front, so I'm going to put the whole strip on here, and one smaller one here, and one smaller one here, so I have a space in the middle. Okay, so let's put the box together. So I'm removing the backing. So let's just line it up. Let's just glue this box together. Okay, that looks perfect. And now the bottom. So let's take the backing off of these little every time you want to just grab it and peel it, it's of course not working because you are watching. So let's just stick that on, and last touch, stick this on. Okay, so box is together. So now we're going to force it a little bit, not too much, to close it, which it does quite nicely. Okay, so we're now going to put the string on. So for that I am using a piece of black cord, and I'm going to embellish it with mini sequins trim, and this is how I'm going to do it. So I will cut about, I don't know, 10 inches of the trim. It's just going to be hanging on the cord. So I'm going to put this through. So first I'm going from the front to the back, and from the back to the front. Okay, and I will make a simple bow, but before I do that, I'm going to make little loops on these, and I'm going to put them on the cord. Tak. Okay, and now I'm going to make the bow. Hopefully you will not have to watch me to struggle with this for too long. but it's just easier said than done, especially if you feeling the pressure of audience waiting for you to make a simple bow. I guess now I know how my kids feel when they're trying to do their shoelace. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust it a little bit so the bow is in the middle because it moved. That's okay. Tighten these, the sequins, or I'm not sure actually how to pronounce it. Tighten this. Actually I can make it generous. I have enough of this. I have enough material. Okay, I am going to trim it a little bit, so I'm just going to cut these ends off, and I kind of like it long like that, so I'm just going to trim it a little bit because this is too long. What do you think? Shall I trim it a little bit more? Maybe this one. Okay, so there you have it. Nice beautiful gift bags for somebody's birthday. So now if you like all the dimensions and a list of the materials that I used today, just go to my blog that is in description. It's www.craftingwithangels.co.uk, and see more details of the project there. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.